Sagas of Thal Drazark, the Illiad of the future past. Blood of the Shimmerdeep. Bhaal Morag was on his way across the acid sea called the Shimmerdeep, full of madness glee, in the form of Illamond, heathen lord of Riksharan, in Mithral, ready to kill, ready to bring death and harm, in the Everbash with the bone blade of Shimmerdeep, slash a bunch of punks as he had done in his grimmer past. So was the bearer of the Grimspark Cleaver, though on another ship than the dark deceiver, Bhaal Morag, one from Aklasan, just a Sithra. Zorem, Dragongaze, Kreeth, marked by the Ill Reaper, his ancestor Illamond Grey, fell against the feeder. The ship was approached by a grim sea creature, so Zorem Kreeth pulled his repeater. I pulled his back and fired 3 shots at the glossy black sea serpent awakening his wrath. It got closer, spat acid at the sleek craft, the sea vessel, the Mithral Lass. Many fled to the aft. Kreeth stayed in the stern, fired more shots at the mad aquatic worm which raised its head in wrath. Its head, which raised its head in wrath. And he pulled Grimspark from his back and jumped off the craft in a slashing attack, splitting the worm's head in halves. I had a little bath. Everyone aboard the Mithral Lass clapped. The captain laughed and said to his first mate, "That was quite a sight. Get our man right back on the craft." The chief of staff did as the captain had ordered, and had Zorem brought back up from the water. The other ship sailing towards west, Thal Drazark, the Marauder's daughter, Bhaal Morag laughed. At the thought of slaughter, he sniffed the line of the Lord. Red dust, the powder which was imported from farther east, and the red marches from the realm of Samartha. In Yinter shuttle east of Imrakim past, the dawn passed, and the sunrise peace, the large gap, in which one could see Berenlith rise from below up to the gap with its wonderful glow. As if though Berenlith was not as decreased in its shine, at least not in the faraway east. He thought of the beast, Eldritch Lord Ralvas, and how he had been slain by Bhaal Morag, and laughed. Some more he was hoping to come across the doom not a duck. In the Everbash war suddenly, boom, as thunder struck, the mast split in half. The Marauders, the order could not carry Bhaal Morag further, so he jumped in the water and swam right towards the nearest shore, probably the Isle of Lamath. Approximately 5 days shipwards north of the Isle of Lamath, where Levels Valver had bought Dragongaze, the Marauder of that Isle of Lamath, home to the Slaads, more style of being than the marrow of the Slaads. They were mean warriors, but also had minds that were keen as some cunning, leading towards recruiting them soon. His calls make them the first members of his crew. He needed a new ship to carry him across the rest of the Shimmerdeep. At the beach more Slaads, he resembled large bipedal frogs with sharp claws, approached him with they laughed with malicious glee. Then he slew one, and then 2, and then 3. The 4th one had cowered, and he changed his visage to that of his true form, the archfiend Bhaal Morag. "Take me to your leader, show me the path. To your old town I need a craft and a staff." Through it, he laughed. He enjoyed the bloodbath that he just had. First one in a tattered time, far too long for a mad archfiend like Bhaal Morag, the fierce strong, lord of fear and wrongs committed with full intent of slaughter and of ridiculous sin. Way north of them in the open seas order, the Mithral Lass would at last approaching the border. Mirage on the Isle of Lamath, where they'd restock on supplies and repair the ground. Kreeth laughed as he stepped down the gangway from the ship to the dock, just frankly, long She longed for Seaport Mirage for quite a long while. He had family there, wife and a child. He arrived in style at the home of his wife, and child swung the door open with a big smile, which immediately changed to murderous gaze. And the sight of his wife with some other guy, Kreeth raged, went straight for the bed and drew the Grimspark Cleaver and cleft the naked man right apart in two halves, and he laughed with madman's glee, and killed his wife too. Then his child came in from the street. Come here, little leech, I'm your sire, Lord Kreeth. Of the dark and the east, I've slain your mother, cause she betrayed me with another, but hey, do not grieve. Over her I will free you from the life here on thee. Secluded isle in the sea, and take ye with me across the Shimmerdeep to western Thal Drazark, to Orchard Cove, and quest to take part in the war, the Great Everbash, that is called to fall. I will teach you all the tricks of the trade that I have. As a death dealer, now what do you say, little lass? The tyranny girl stabbed him in the leg with a knife, and he gasped in pain and slapped the little child, who ran away crying. Soon authorities showed up. 4 swordsmen he struck, the first with a low swing of Grimspark, slashing open his guts. Next 3 were quick to die, 2 in his bloodlust. He killed every man he came across with full sword. Against him there were plenty of gods to be fought. He made it to the Lord of Orchard Cove fort. He Grimspark soul and called on the Lord. Come and fight me or tell your fighters to leave me be until my ship can return to the sea. His murder glee was clearly written on his face, as was the certainty that he could murder all in this very place and get away with it too. The Lord came out on his porch and said, Zorem, Kreeth, my lord, I apologize deeply, of course. You may stay in Port Mirage in peace from my gods. I didn't know it was you who killed them after last, who came crying because someone had just murdered her mother. I'm sure you had your reasons. I won't ask, it won't bother. You know more, Lord of Slaughter, almighty Lord Kreeth, of the fortress Roth, Keep, and Zorek, Steep, and Saul's Reach. North of Mantle Keep, I know you well, I know where you dwell, and I know bloody well to not mess with you hells. Take me if I did, I know who you was. Why would I know when he sees such a humongous loss? Good for you, boss, me lord, the Amoth, of Port Mirage on the Isle of Lamath. I will soon sail away across the sea to Orchard Cove in the north of the sorrow-sown coast, and then continue with glee towards Ebon Reach, where we'll meet the doom herald whom I hope to defeat. Zorem Kreeth was free to go, and on Kron's wealth he had reached Orchard Cove, from where he soon had continued on his path towards Ebon Reach. Bhaal Morag had arrived in Malik Morn the 16th of Kron in Elakor, land of the Eldritch Fall, with a crew full of Slaads he's made sailors. Of himself, Bhaal Morag, the Lord of Grimspark, bloodshed, madness, terror, tyranny, and dread. Ahead like the path of Ebon Reach in the north, west where the Everbash was soon to fall. He laughed. Alice, Everbash, doom on the passing moon. Never ending doom on the passing moon. Never ending doom on the passing moon. Never ending doom on the passing moon.